And with a very quick turnaround, we're back on again here in the capital of Switzerland, Bern. We're coming to you from the Allmend Arena Curling Center in Bern, and it's the 50th International Bernese Ladies Cup. We're in C finals, C qualifiers. Team Wang against Team Wrana from Sweden. Jing Yima, Jin Li Lui, Yan Zhu, and Bing Yuang, the Olympic representatives for China. And they're playing against Team Wrana, Fanny Soyberg, Almeida Delval, Jenny Vollen, and Elizabeth Wrana. Both these teams just got off the ice. In fact, Wang went into an extra end and got off the ice, and here we see the Chinese Olympic representatives, and they didn't have much of a break. They just defeated, and here we see Team Wrana from Sweden. Team Wrana just lost to Sidorova in the B qualifier, and now on the ice, and Wang defeated Team Kausta from Finland in an extra end that went a little bit longer, so this team has had about a 15-minute turnaround. As we get underway, Team Wrana playing Red Rocks from Sweden. They have the hammer, and Chinese team has center guard up. That one kind of comes off the line. That was not meant to be like that. It's been a long day of competition already. Started Thursday evening, 32 teams, triple knockout. Every time you lose, you drop a group, and once you lose a game in C, you're finished. You're done. And 8 teams qualify through the triple knockout play. 2 qualified out of 8 yesterday already. They have the day off today. That was Wazeva and Felcher. Earlier we saw Sidorova and Muirhead qualify, and now we're down to the last 4. We'll update you on the other 3 matches shortly. My name is Armin Harder. I'll be with Richard Harding again. I'll take you through this game, and tomorrow we'll have 3 games on, 1 quarterfinal game, a semifinal, and the final.
90.
Defending champion Alina Pats from last year already out of the event. As you can see, Team Wrana, a very young team, a couple of years out of juniors now. Very good team though. And with the short turnaround, there may be some little kinks they got to work out. Really hard to need to focus. Some of them were on the ice already at 8 o'clock this morning. Once you go down on the C road, it becomes a marathon. Hello, Richard. Thanks for joining. Turn the mic on, Richard. Works better.
Afternoon, Armin.
Long time no see.
Yes.
We're seeing a few mistakes here early. I think the teams will need to Get used to a different sheet here very quickly. So Wrana having the hammer with playing red. Has one in the forefoot, lots of guards out front. Betty plays out of, Jenny's team plays out of Harbin.
Harbin is a resort city, I was told the first time I ever asked about Harbin.
A very cold resort city in the winter.
And I immediately thought of some of the larger Swiss resorts with a few thousand people in them.
Yeah.
And then I discovered that the population of Harbin was 9.2 million.
Yes, it's just a small place. When you compare it to Shanghai or Beijing, I guess it is
Yes.
very small. Beijing, Shanghai, all around about 30 million. 9.5, you said. That's
9.2.
That's same size, if not bigger than Switzerland.
Yeah,
The entire population. Of
bigger than
Switzerland.
London population. Yes, all the resorts in Switzerland and everything else.
Yeah, Harbin, of course, famous in the winter for their big ice sculptures. They're pretty fantastic. If you ever take a look at that, it was just on last week, I believe, or it's on right now. It's very close to the Russian and it's between Russia and North Korea, so quite up there. Very close to the Russian border. And guess we got to go hard on this because it's wrecking.
Once they start to curl, they really start to go.
This team just got off the ice, and they still seem to have the draw weight in from the other sheet. So with a fresh sheet here and a fresh pebble, the draw weight's going to be a little bit different, and they'll need to adjust very quickly. So they've got to hope that they don't get in too big of a mess here. Wrana has had about a half hour, 45 minutes rest, so they have been able to refocus probably a little bit better. That was a very tight match that Wang won in the extra end. Steele, they're down 6-2, and I had made two, stole two, and stole another one in the extra to win that game.
So they were in good form in the last end or two, no question about
No
that,
question
making
about
all their
that.
shots.
Yeah, and really focused on the draw weight that they right now doesn't seem either team has, actually, as we can see with the mess that's out front. The wall of China out front of the house.
Well, it was a fast turnaround for ice, for people, for everybody.
For everybody, including us. I didn't even get a coffee. He goes there, he's whining again.
So the one solitary stone in the house belonging to Team Wrana and Wang, quite a familiar figure these days. Yes. Having had a year or two off.
Yeah, she took a break for about a year or two, but she's certainly come back this year.
This is a good one.
Just didn't get a roll. It's open, but I'm sure she's happy to see that rock disappear.
We can see this once again, sweeping furiously to keep it from crashing onto the guards. Good shot. Important morale booster after the last few shots, really, just to nail one.
Really made some sensational shots in the last 3-4 ends in that game. Here we see Elizabeth Wrana. Isabella, excuse me. Ooh.
Well, she will touch the guard and it just adjusts the line and misses the shot in the house. And the Wrana family are all seriously good curlers.
Yeah, all very seriously curlers, yeah.
The brother of Isabella, of course, plays with Nicholas Edin.
Yeah, they're over at the Continental Cup at the moment in London, Ontario.
When Edin had a change of team a couple of seasons ago, Erasmus Wrana came in to curl with them. Proved to be a pretty good choice, I think.
Oh yeah, he's quite the takeout player. Does a really good job at the second position. Wang, she's the top Chinese team. She's ranked 19th on the world ranking. Isabella's not that far behind, so it's a little bit closer match. She ranked 30th on the tour. It's very good for the young age of the Wrana team. And I've been told many times it's Wrana. Wrana, because there's a little round circle over the A.
Okay.
Correctly spelled.
And very quickly, we mustn't forget to mention Mats Wrana.
Yes.
He is two-time skip of the men's senior world champions from Sweden.
It's no wonder his kids have it in their genes. There are quite a few curling families around the curling scene. Sweden has theirs, Scotland has theirs. Of course, the Hasselberg in Sweden, also a very famous curling family.
He's the third man for Wrana. Father Wrana.
And of course, we have the Muirheads and the Browns, so and everything in Scotland.
That miss by Isabella Wrana means the opening end was won by Wang with that single that she made the straight hit on. Certainly makes her shot look good now after those two misses after it.
Yeah,
and she will take a one-shot advantage going into end number 2.
Wrana's going to be disappointed with that performance in that first end, missing those two. And here we see a score of 1-0. We're in the C final here at the Bern Ladies International. We have Matsumura and Sinclair playing in another final, and we have Christensen Stern. So Americans are possible of 2 teams in these quarterfinals if those teams win. And then we have Jackson Kaiser as the fourth. Those are the C finals.
So just to be clear, 4 of the quarterfinalists are known. 2 came out the A, 2 the B, and the 4 winners of these 4 games will comprise the other 4 teams in the quarterfinals.
So far, we have Mozeva, Sidorova, Felcher, and Muirhead qualified. Mozeva and Felcher going direct through the A. 5 former world champions playing on this ice and this weekend, and of course Wang being one of them. I think it was 2009, it's off the top of my head.
2009, and it was in the venue where the Winter Olympics will be played in Korea, in Gangneung. And Wang was the winner of the World Women's Championship that year.
In Korea it was.
It was indeed.
Okay.
At Gangneung, the same building as will be used, albeit it's been considerably modified and renovated for the Winter Olympic Games just coming next month.
So Wang won the Women's Masters in Basel in October. He came third at the insurance shootouts. HDF and the Olympic events, they came first. Actually, I thought that was no surprise.
Well, a nice shot there from Annie Sjoberg with her second stone, just perhaps over, curled slightly, but she got past the guard, and you can see how much it curled once it got past that short stone. Yuan indicating similar shot to come around, and you can see it's 5 feet or so of draw to pass that front guard. And it will be Junli Lin who will make this draw, hopefully, for her. Sweepers onto it quickly. And once it starts curling, you can see it really starts to curl a long way. Good shot here.
Yeah, it looks like they're starting to zero in on their draw weight here in this end. Was set up a little bit better than what they had in the first end. And we'll be showing all 3 matches tomorrow, or at least one quarterfinal match, one semifinal match, and the final.
So you need to be up early if you're in Central Europe for the first one. It will get going at 8 AM.
You have to be up early too.
Indeed. So second player for Sweden, Almida Duval. She's hit the guard, just moving it across to remain a counter in front of the house, but not guarding anything. It's interesting how things have moved on over the years, because when the Chinese teams first arrived really at world level, before that the Japanese, they had fantastic technical skills, but they weren't quite up to speed with the tactics. But now they are very familiar with how to play the game tactically as well.
These Asian teams basically starting 20 years ago or so in the sport have done huge advances, and they're starting to get their own ice facilities. Japan has wonderful ice facilities in Sapporo, Karisawa, and China's starting to get their ice facilities in. I've been in the one in Harbin. It's in a shopping center, two sheets, and that's a great Great place, full of kids all the time. Lots going on in there. In the Wanda Mall in Harbin.
And construction is going on in Beijing right now.
I believe in more than one place. Of course, 2022 Beijing Olympics.
And the site for that
The water cube.
event will be what was the water cube.
It still is the water cube.
Well, it is fast becoming the ice cube for the 2022 Winter Olympics, and I was lucky enough to be there last March during the World Women's Championship and shown the plans and indeed mock-up construction of how they're going to build the ice floor over the swimming pool. It's a very spectacular venue.
Just a matter of freezing the pool, isn't it?
No. So,
Oh, that rubs the guard.
oh my goodness, that was
Yeah, she was fortunate not to touch her own off the top either on that. Almost came close to removing her own off the top.
and the one at the back.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Well, we can see how much it's curling here. Betty's almost standing on the other sheet.
Yep, at least 5 feet of curl. Just trying to
And look how much
guard on.
that over curled. Just almost over curled.
Well, it certainly curled a lot over the last 2 or 3 meters of running. But it's going to serve the purpose.
And Sue. Well, it still seemed to be quite awake. Having a long day already.
So the shot here belongs to China, the back of the 4-foot circle.
Jenny Wallen, also a curling family. Well, look at that.
Wow,
How great was that shot?
Nice shot.
A long raise double takeout, raise double takeout. And
Yep. She's probably still in the team for the next game. Well, they were in a little bit of a mess there with the guard and not being able to draw right into the centre of the house to outcount that shot. So it was a fantastic recovery from Jenny Wallin. So the first stone of Wang here in the second end. They're onto it quickly. Sweepers were onto that quickly. It's not far away. Oh,
Another great shot.
well, once you've played game after game after game, the other thing that happens is your eye gets really in. So you see the shots better.
Well, I bet he was a little upset there that her shooter rolled out of the 4 foot.
Yeah,
Look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, it sets up the double certainly, but and a possible roll in behind these two guards at the top of the, just beyond the house.
And here we see Isabel Wrana trying to make that double. Ooh, really gave that launched that a bit.
Well, she's trying to really go full speed.
Well, she did get the roll.
She did, but does it come out or is it hidden? That's the question. We'll see that in a moment. Just trying to take the two out, but it jammed on the back one, left one there.
Covered a bit. Well, she is actually covered full, but she's behind the tee line, back of the 4 foot, so.
You can see how much ice is given for this one. It's beyond the house.
She's taken less ice actually than what she did for that guard. Of course, she'll have to
Bit more speed.
throw a little more weight at it. That's right. She'll want to get right down in that 4 foot, get in front of that rock. This might have a little too much speed. A long way to curl too.
Yeah, needs to curl. That's just holding.
Yeah, and she just overthrew that. She's fortunate to come down to the back one. So draw to the 4 foot. Or actually just needs full 8 foot for Wrana.
Nej, jag tänker bara att det inte är lika långt ut där. Men det kanske har bättre koll här. Jag tänker bara att jag har ryggen. Ja, det gillar jag. Ja.
To make 2 here in the second. Winner of this game is qualified for the quarterfinals tomorrow. And there's 3 other qualifiers going on, so we'll keep you up to date. Sterna off to a big start over Christensen. Makes a 4 in the first end. So that's 4-0 lead already. Swiss team, young Swiss team. Matsumuro makes 1 in the first. As we watch Wrana.
So draw to the 8 foot circle. What's required here for a 2-pointer and a lead in this game.
It's hanging out there too.
And it's got plenty of speed. Needs some backing. I think it's got that though.
Oh. Was she playing the hit on that?
One.
Anyways, rather irrelevant now. It's a score of 1. So it ties up the game after 2 ends of play. Both teams a little bit erratic at the moment. I'm sure that'll settle down once they get into it.
Jag vet inte om man kanske bara ska gå på slag.
So just to confirm the score, 1-1 between Wang and Isabella Wrana after 2 ends in the 50th International Bernese Ladies Cup.
Were you commentating in the first one too?
I was not. In the old days, I guess it would have been the old facility, which was on the same land, approximately the same land as this one.
About 100 meters away from here. Yep.
But when the
Boone Trophy.
when the exhibition people locally wanted the curling facility to increase their exhibition area, they helpfully contributed to replacing the old place with this fantastic new place.
Yeah, they didn't spare any change here, did they?
Somewhere near around 20 years ago that whole process started, because a group of people from Bern came across to Scotland, and for some reason I got selected to run them around and show them curling rigs. So that's how I know the date, roughly.
And while that old place needed replacing,
It did.
it was pretty well done.
It was.
It had lots of charm, though. These big tournaments, it was a 6-sheeter, and it was there was dividers between each 2 sheets, and the people would used to come out onto the ice and practically stand all along the sheet watching the game.
Especially if you were lucky enough to get to the final of something there, which I was 100 years ago. And there were so many of them there, the ice started melting.
Yep.
So we played on almost water. I wasn't that unhappy to see it torn down, I have to say.
Did that put any curl in the ice there?
Oh no, it was beyond curl. It was melt.
Membership here. Very happy to see this facility go up. And we've got some great ice here. Stefan Retlisberger doing a wonderful job, as usual. Of course, lots of experience, Stefan. And I remember that World Championships that was here in '97.
It was in the famous Almend Stadium, right next door to here.
That's right. Which has been renovated
enormously
in that time too.
Yeah. For a long time that stadium had the record for the largest crowd at a World Championship. I don't know if it was beaten after that. I think it might have been.
Well, certainly not in Europe, but you're talking now in the 70s in the Attinger.
Yep.
Attinger games, 79 or something like that. I think the stadium was full for that. I've seen pictures of that. It was amazing. It's a nice setup there for Wrana with the guards. Trying to steal. Just needs to get in behind somehow.
Nice draw as we look at it now from the left to the right would be nice.
I might do that out-turn draw around there. Try and get just top of the forefoot. Get a nice angle on that yellow rock, but she's opting for a kind of I don't know, quiet draw, tap.
Yeah, coming from the left side.
Oh, the in-turn side, so clockwise rotation on the rock.
This is Almeida de Val.
Starting to make its move now, the rock. And you can see the curl on that now.
Oh, nicely played.
Yeah, that's what she called. Just perfectly executed.
Edge off the Chinese stone and run in right behind the guard. Yeah, like you, I thought the draw around the other way was more inviting, but interesting how other people see the game differently.
It's same result, it's just this one was a little tougher than the draw properly.
So clearing out. Double raise, but she leaves her shooter in place.
Chinese have the hammer, so they'll want to keep the middle open.
Li Liu here. Out turn. Pretty good result in the circumstances.
Out turn is the counterclockwise rotation of the rock. Unless you're a left-hander, of course. Then it's reversed, opposite.
That's why it's out turn, because whether you're right hand or left hand, it's still the out turn.
Yes, but the rotation is different.
Vänta! Vänta, Jenny! Fanny! Fanny! Wow! Wow! Vi har ingen linje. Vi har ingen linje. Jenny! 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 Wow! Fanny, du måste gå. Vi bara köra. Bara köra.
Well, it looks like they're starting to zero in on the line and the draw weight here.
Good shot there from
Very nice.
Almeida Duval.
Two great shots in a row.
Sorry, from Fanny Schober.
Might be a double here. Huh? No. Go for that long raised takeout. Oops. Cleared the guard.
Jag tycker inte att det går överhuvudtaget ut längre. Jag vill ha den ganska långt ner, Jenny. Inte jättelångt ner, men inte borta vid hoj. Är det 0,5 på Jenny, eller?
Jenny Wallen. Try and replace that guard. Very nice line. It's a little bit closer to the rings maybe than she wanted, but the line's very good. Problem with being so close, of course, the run back becomes a little easier. Yanchu. Gets one, gets two, picks out the one out in front.
Well, great effort.
Yeah, very nicely done.
Vill du spela en trea?
So Jenny Malin just going for the takeout here on the stone in the back of the 8-foot, front top of the 8-foot. So hit and roll. The Wrana team lie 2. One solitary guard belonging to the Chinese in the front.
I bet he's going to play this one on the left. She's got a couple of options there with a roll. She could roll behind the center guard or roll all the way across the house and maybe sit up in front of that red one that's in the back of the 12-foot. She's trying to generate 2 points here in this end.
Yanju, her second shot here in the third end.
Okay.
Well,
Josh,
great shot.
Settles in behind the guard. Very nicely done.
Yanju, 2 great shots from her.
Alltså om vi ska ta den med en 4 typ.
Ja. Känns det okej eller ska vi köra? Ja, det är bara tapp. Ja. Gå ner mot liksom.
Va?
Jag är inte helt enig på hur det kallar alltså.
Nej. Vad är alternativen då?
Ja, det är att kicka.
Mm.
Men då nollar de. Men... Jag kan tycka att det är värt det. För jag vet inte.
Christensen scores 1 in the second, so that game is 4-1 for Stern in the AC qualifier on sheet 6.
Kappen!
Matsumoto Sinclair is 1-1 after 3 ends.
Jag känner typ att jag känner inte att jag vet hur det kallar det.
Kaiser is leading Jackson 2-1 after 2 ends of play. Jackson has the hammer. Jackson from Scotland, Kaiser from Switzerland. Isabella Wrana trying this run back, take out the one out of the 4-foot. Sweeper's not doing anything, just opens it up.
Well, she likes the speed as well, Wrana.
Oh yeah, they're throwing some hard ones.
She's only throwing hard ones.
Well, at the moment. Even her draw was a little too hard.
也有双飞。然后往那边投。往这边投，C 实现了点。13秒，13秒5。哦，往内侧进一个吧，这边打定的话也是双飞呀，也是双飛腳係咪 ？OK。
So only 2 stones in play here, both of them in the house. And Bing Wang has the last stone advantage. Chance to pick up 2 potentially.
He was looking at drawing down to the red one on the right, but the chance of setting up a double there is a bit of a danger. So I think she's drawing now to the left-hand side. She'll want to be better than that red one, but level with her own yellow shot. Split the rings and try and make 2 that way. Take a look here with the sweeping. Rock looks a little warm.
It does.
Sweepers are all over that.
As long as it sticks around.
I'll take it back a little further to. Yeah, the sweepers got on that a little quick.
Not bad though.
That's all right.
Quite a long way from the shot rock, shot stone, sorry.
The double is a problem because of the jam on the right.
Yes.
Vilka typ hit då? Precis framför den.
Men chappen är väl kanske inte helt, alltså hellre chappen att vi tar över.
Ja, alltså det är väl ändå viktigt att
det är här vi snackar om för att vi ska komma dit.
Ja, det är ändå viktigt att vi släpper liksom.
It's looking like a hit and roll. Not taking any ice on this, just really throwing hard takeouts.
Jag försöker få vilken hit framför deras. Det finns ingen dubbel, sen sitter de hit våran.
Isabel Verano trying for hit and roll. And she gets the roll. Does she roll enough? We'll need a little more. Oh, not a bad attempt. But, this should be removed easily enough. Nose hit or just a hair off the center. She doesn't have a lot of room to roll to the left. About 2 feet.
Yes, just fractionally off to the left as we look at it. Would do nicely for her 2.
Make sure she doesn't take the back one with it.
And she definitely doesn't want to draw too far here because she could jam on the back one and roll the shooter out. So you don't want that either. Give up 2.
Yeah, that would be worst case. A little over cross. Now I'm not expecting that though, Richard.
No.
She'll be a little on the high side. It's perfect.
It is absolutely perfect.
And with that,
Perfectly executed shot, and with that hit, Bern Wang makes her deuce in the 3rd end and takes a 3-1 lead.
Alltså nu måste vi börja.
Had to work hard for it though,
mm-hmm.
against the Wrana team. And just to confirm the score in this 50th International Bernese Ladies Cup, 3 shots to 1. Chinese team of Bern Wang, who will be going to
Pyeongchang.
They will be just getting into top gear, playing well here anyway.
Yeah, they'll be at least be in the correct time zone for the play on Korea. About 8 hours difference to Central European time.
And the last big event before the Winter Olympics for the women will be in Glasgow next week.
Yes,
And both these teams will be there, Wrana and Wang.
Glen Hill Ladies, also a World Curling Tour event. Always a really nice run event too. In the Glasgow, in the Braehead Shopping Centre. Unfortunately, we won't have any streaming from there, but certainly you can follow all the results on worldcurl.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, along with the WCF Facebook page. Looking like a nice draw again here, Richard. They're really starting to
very nice
the
shot.
draw weight down.
Round behind the guard.
I was a little concerned in the first end when that was quite a sloppy end, but it has turned around. Almeida Deval. Very focused.
Gärna hålla lite. Bra linje. Linje bra, bra fart, 8 är bra. Järnet då, gå! Hårt, måste in, hårt!
This is looking very nice too. It has the weight. Should get a biter anyways. Maybe not. Ooh, they run out of room. Just pulls up short.
Fanny Schubert just failing to make that shot round the guard.
小点儿感觉。线路 OK， 只是力量，擦点线，全力。hard 点线，全力，线路非常好，擦腰 hard 一直擦 hard 全力腰 hard 擦，小马。
It's got a wreck on the rock that's in the house and rolls to the open side. If you're wondering why the restaurant in the background is empty, it's because it's being set up for the big 50th anniversary.
So the spectators are upstairs in the gallery watching.
Yeah, tripping over each other here. Sorry, this is Almeida Duval, and the other one was Fanny Stauberg. I got ahead of myself.
Okay, today. Run with that.
So Wang indicating to Junli Liu just to put a guard on these. Well, no, she's going to bring it right into the house, but it's not the best positioning.
Certainly a double there. I'm not sure about the triple though. How many does she have? Just the one, I think. But she rolls into a really nice position there.
Yeah, just rolling to the right as she looked at it.
You can remove that rock, but you're going to roll over to the left. Yansu. They gotta go hard. Oh, picked it cleanly.
Oh, nice shot from Yan Chu.
Just managed to get the double.
拍这上击打就跟你刚才力量一样就行，点稍微小一点儿。
And Chinese will want to remove that. Red has the hammer. That would be the Swedes. They're down 2.
Sorry， 不擦好了。
So it suits Bing Wang to have the game fairly open, I think. She's 2 up at this point. And as things lie, she's limiting the opposition to 1 point in this end. Only the 3 stones in play and 1 in the house.
This is a draw around the corner guards, the red ones. Want to get this rock behind the guards and try and have a shot position. That means sit better than that yellow one on the left. So, get by both of them. And just needs to finish a bit. A very nice shot. And it's counting. I don't know if, I guess you could see a piece of that or half of that maybe. Just needed to finish a little more at the end. Wang will try and get close to those guards and get rid of that red one. They're on it right away. Will they be able to hold it? It's not looking like that. It's all over the guard. Just a little bit short, probably. Chance for 2 here. She can get another one around the guard. Or just remove that. Talking about going around that one in the 8 foot. Not quite 8 foot.
Yep.
12 foot.
Well, it's certainly the shot if you can make it. If you don't make it, then you rub the guard and come off, roll in. You're probably providing an opportunity for a hit and roll for Bing Wang.
Yeah, if you were to hit that yellow, you probably might leave a double. Might as well go around it.
I think that's, yep, I think that's the shot to play.
Sure. Just you leave that run back for the Chinese, but they got to make it. So she's been throwing pretty hard takeouts most of the time. She hasn't thrown too many draws.
Well, I think it's drawing onto the guard.
Yeah, it is.
And it's short as well.
Short as well, yeah. So decision time for Betty. Do she try that run back, that raise, or does she draw behind it? Force Wang to 1 That way.
这么稍便宜点。啊？嗯，行。
If she misses this raise takeout,
10贴
it's
弧。
a pretty
8秒
easy
8
draw
秒
for
5。
Wrana.
8秒8秒5。找一个8秒8秒5。
So angle raise, yellow on the red. And roll your shooter to the middle. Cover that forefoot a bit.
That's it. Easy.
Yeah.
That's the shot. So Bing Wang has shown that her eye is in. This one's a little bit on the high side, I think.
She'll get it.
Oh, she is going to get it. And the roll.
And
Very
3
nice.
counters. Yeah. She would have liked to have curled up a little bit more, but I'm sure she'll be pleased with the result on that. It doesn't get her into any trouble. It forces Wang or Wrana into a draw for 1. Full 8 foot, and again, she hasn't made a draw yet. She's attempted 2 draws, but she hasn't made any yet. So this is a big shot. Looking at 3.
So, Isabella Wrana in this 4th end, the last stone. Just before the 4th end.
It's got enough weight, I think. Got plenty of weight.
I think it's pretty good. Just needs to stop fully in the 8 foot.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Just needs to stop.
Yeah. Oh, well, it is.
Good enough for 1. And that'll tighten up the game a little bit.
So the forcing of the single point to Wrana successful by Bing Wang. Eventually, at one point in that end, it didn't look like that, but turned out that way. So at the halfway stage, the Chinese team of Bing Wang lead Isabella Wrana 3 shots to 2.
Bra linje! Ja! Ser jättekort ut! Hårt Jenny! Hårt Jenny! Närmre! Ja, det är bra.
guards established by
有点降速，所以就一直在横着走。
Isabella Wrana.
做不得了。
Now the corner guard, sorry, the corner draw right to the wing by Bing Wang.
We've seen that a few times today. That is curling all the way across the house.
Bing Wang with a 1 point lead and last stone advantage. Happy to play the game in the house as she can. It's the second stone of Fanny Sjoberg. Just a draw behind this front guard.
Alltså Almida, du måste gå. Ja, göm den. Hårt. Mer. Bra där.
Second stone here of King Ma. Just following the Swedish short round, tapping it back. Very nicely played. Our shooter just rolled out into the open. Duval at second. She assumes the skips role when Wrana is playing. One or two teams doing that now.
Yeah. Guess it's whoever's better in the house and can see the line better and reacts better.
Or it might be because they're not so good at sweeping.
Oh, okay. They're all young. So they'll be good at sweeping.
They should be, but there's several occasions where the second player goes to take the skip position.
So in the last couple of years, these teams have faced each other 3 times. And Wang has always got the better of Wrana. The last time they faced each other was in September at the Stockholm Ladies. The Chinese won 8-7, but they've all been close matches, like this one.
Oh, nice shot there, but rolled right out to lie next to the original stone from China. So the attempt at taking both of these out and rolling the shooter across to lie. Very nicely executed.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That'll just stick around at the back of the 12-foot. Chinese have the hammer. Up 3-2. That score in the back is not correct. It's 3-2 for Wang, and Wang has the hammer. Jenny Wallen just trying to keep it clean. And they've They've got a center guard up, but they're not putting it to use. I wonder if Chinese will now draw behind it. Really? Okay. It's indicating take out on the back, and we have just ice temperature, and we see the raised pebble on that ice nicely there. Ice temperature 4.3. It was 4.4 earlier in the game, so it's been pretty stable. It's got a little warmer out there today, so that's probably affected the ice temperatures a bit.
It's certainly drawing plenty. Draw shots. Big swings.
And that hangs around on the back. It's got to be all the way over that black line in order to be able to play. It may not be counting, but it's certainly there. It's a rocky trip over.
Yes, it can be.
So with that rolling out, of course, Wrana now has the ability to try and utilize the guard she put up earlier in the end. She'll try and get in behind it. And Jenny Wallen will throw that in turn draw. It's hanging out there a little bit. Now it's starting to come. Gets it on the nose and rolls open. And we see that little rock at the back did play a role.
Yes. It's remarkable how often that does happen.
Yeah, look, they have eyes.
Got magnets in them. So an open end of play here.
Yeah, Wrana looking for a little hit and roll behind the guard.
The opportunity is there though with that guard out in front. As you pointed out at the beginning, it would be better a little bit closer to the house.
That's right.
Tougher to remove anything behind it.
They gotta work. Sound like they're working this. Oh, just gets past the guard. And it's enough of it to remove it, but also rolls out. And Betty just happy to remove anything in play. With the hammer here, she could be drawing around that center guard.
Precisely, exactly what I was thinking.
The problem here is to roll out. It can happen very quickly. And that means Wrana has a steal opportunity.
This shot's pretty defensive in the circumstances. It's only one ahead.
Yeah, well, it's very defensive actually.
Yes. You've got to take your chances and this is definitely an opportunity she could have used to more advantage than this.
Well, she'll need to be sticking around. Well, she manages that. Nicely executed. The question is, Wrana or feel lucky or no? She's going after the hit.
Well, they've just marked the score up from the last end. I wonder if Betty knew that she was 3-2, not 3-1.
I'm sure she did.
Yes, I'm sure she did too. But
it's pretty quiet out there. Makes the hit all by itself. So we're heading for a blank end here. Obviously, nobody wanted to risk anything in that end.
no, but I think they perhaps could have risked a little bit. It wasn't as if it was a high risk with so few stones in play.
I think Betty may have been looking at the scoreboard and going, I'd rather score 2 in the 6th.
Yes.
Take a 3-point lead in the 6th. That's pretty good. So she want to blank this though, otherwise those tactics are for naught, and she manages to do that. And they'll put up the 0. So after 5 ends of play, the Chinese team continues to lead with 3-2 and the hammer going into the 6th end here at the Bern Ladies International Cup. International Berner Damen Cup, to be exact.
So 50th
see
year.
the results of, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, 50th year of this event started back in 1968.
It's at the back.
And they missed one or two.
Yeah, I think
1 or 2 years in the 70s.
Early on, they missed a couple.
But
There's been
50 years since it all began.
Yeah, and there's been some great names on there as winners. Who's who in women's curling over the decades. Erica Miller back in 1984, who was the Swiss world champion. Linda Moore a couple of years later. And Heather Houston was a world champion. Mary Mott, the world champion. Annette Norberg, Sandra Peterson. Lucia Ebneter, silver medalist at Olympics. Gustafsson owned the event for a couple of years. Kelly Law, Colleen Jones, Rona Martin. Jennifer Jones, Kelly Scott, Clybrink, Kieran Sony, Muirhead. Alina Patz was the defending champion. Won it twice in the last 3 years. So that's pretty well
everybody
who's who in women's curling, no doubt, over the years.
Well, that's right. Just about all, well, maybe not all the main champions, but almost every year the winner's been previous or reigning world champion or European champion.
We have currently, in this event, we started with 5 world champions, or former world champions. There's only two that have made it through. Or one that's actually made it. Two Muirhead and Felcher are through. Mozeva, Sidorova, they haven't been world champions yet, although they've been European champions. And of course, Wang on this sheet here, having an opportunity maybe to qualify after this game, will be another world champion. Are they past the guard? Yes, just made it.
Yeah, she just made it to get past. Lie at the top of the 4-foot circle. Good shot.
So Christensen's clawing her way back in this game against Wrana. She made one in the second, stole one in the third, stole one in the fourth. That game is now for 4-3 for Wrana in the fifth. Wrana with the hammer. Matsumura up 3-1 over Sinclair after 5 ends of play. That's also a C qualifier. And 6-3 for Kaiser over Jackson from Scotland after 4 ends of play in that game. So with that roll out, Betty will try and put this corner guard to use. Sweepers aren't laying the broom to this. It looks a little warm.
I think it's going to stop, but in the back of the house.
Well, I'm not sure if it's going to stop. No, it just does. A good call. You saw that, Richard.
I certainly did.
A little piece of dust there in the back of the 12-foot.
So with that draw shot, the Chinese team lie 1 here. And round behind that guard, but very deep in the house. And Isabella Wrana has the Duval to follow that shot. See the line of it relative to the guard. She's going to pass it by a few inches. Just needs to curl, but it's looking pretty good.
They should have been on that actually and taken it down to the yellow one, allowing it to curl like that. It's curled a little bit open, but it's all behind the tee line, so Betty will be drawing down and try and get in front of the tee line behind that guard.
But significantly, the 2 stones there provide backing for anything you put in front of them. So it'll be more difficult to remove.
We're going at this one. Might have swept it a little early. Yeah. I think Betty would have liked to have left that a little higher, get a better angle on that red one. Back. And I think she just explained that to her teammate.
So
Jenny Wallen.
Yep, it will be Jenny Wallen.
Låt den bara curla.
Asked to follow into the
Låt den
same
bara curla.
area,
Den här måste curla, tjejer.
line in
Ingen
front of the
linjan.
Chinese stone. This one needs to curl quite a lot to
Vänta, 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 vänta.
connect with the backman. Fortunately, it's not too fast.
Don't seem to be getting the line very well here now. That's about the fourth rock they played in there. A little bit long and a little bit wide. Maybe just a little bit long there.
Lite mer is för den där.
Maybe the line would have been all right if their weight had have been right.
So it just bounced off the yellow stone, and it can be removed cleanly, but any roll will be difficult off to the left as we look at it, because if you try and execute that, you're going to jam the red one onto the back yellow.
Well, this is moving. They're going to get on the outside of that red one instead of the inside.
Well, not a bad result.
It's still all behind the tee line though. It's not really where she wants to play, because any rock in front of it will negate those three.
But they are all behind the guard, so to be accurate with this.
All we have to do is turn the house around and then they'll be in front of the tee line.
Håll i linjen! Gå! Håll! Gör det!
Now, is this going to get past the guards? No. Well, a mistake from the Swedes, and that'll should allow Betty actually to try and, I wonder if she's going to use that center guard now.
No, well, she is, but she's going to draw around the clear side where there's nothing in the way.
The Swedes may need that red one that's just biting the 12-foot later on. Yan Su. They're sweeping this. I'm just trying to get it back and away from the hit and roll. That was really where they needed it.
Yeah, just stayed wide there.
Yellow has the hammer.
Yes, been Wang the last end. She blanked it to control the hammer position so that she could have it here in the 6th, I think. Definitely hoping to pick up 2 here.
Yes, she certainly hasn't played this end defensively.
Snacka mycket.
So the first stone of Isabella Wrana in this 6th end. Attempt to come behind and lie first shot. They're going to have to sweep it all the way.
Yeah, this is on the guard. They come up quite a bit short. And now they're getting into real deep trouble.
Well, she could not afford to be short there.
然后我如果顺扔弃阳的话，他逆扔这边也有选项。我先粘着一个，行。
So last stone belongs to Bern Wang. She lies 3.
She still has 2 to Ronald's 1 rock.
然后他这样的话，水晶就不太好旋了，他可能只剩逆时针往那边。
So there's still a couple of paths in there. But I think that's probably the best place to put it, right at the top of the 4 foot. Doesn't need to be fully buried. Just half buried is all right.
13秒5吧，就13秒13秒5啊。
Even top 8 foot wouldn't be so bad.
No, I think that'd be a good shot in this position. Only 1 stone remaining, 1 red stone for Wrana remaining in this end. She does not have the last stone. So this is an important shot from Bern Wang.
Yeah, the next 2 shots will be really important for this game, one way or the other.
Well, she doesn't
Taking her time.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to like this shot for some reason, but don't know why not, because I do think it is the right shot.
Yeah, I think she top 4 foot or even top 8 foot. She could be partially exposed actually. It would be all right.
Well, she might be a little bit heavy.
She might be fully exposed. She doesn't want to be behind the tee line though. Oh, look at that. Just comes to a stop in time.
Well, good stone. That certainly prevents the double unless you're going to raise it with this front red stone. But that would be a very big shot with the last stone of her end. Right now, China leading 3 shots to 2. They're lying 4 stones in this end. And they have the last stone. 2 stones to go here. So actually, if she doesn't make a good, she doesn't.
Well, it could be game over pretty quick here.
Yeah, if she doesn't lie with this shot, really, or cut the position down significantly, then it could be game over very quickly.
So Betty's shot was really key to get that in the right spot, and she managed to do that. I think an in-turn freeze on that top one, just to not give up too many. Right there.
Just follow Betty down.
Yeah, you freeze to the wrong side of it though.
So they
I think you want to freeze to the inside of that.
If you can, but you might lose 2 that way.
And when you freeze the inside, the jam on the backs maybe for any kind of takeout. If you freeze to this side, the left side, you just need a little bounce and it's an open hit. I kind of like coming through this port here and trying to.
I think that's the shot. It's a tough one, but that's what you have to do, I think.
Absolutely.
That's what they're indicating. It's absolutely vital to get through the gap between these stones.
Chinese are sitting 4, maybe even 5 at the moment. And it looks like 4.
4, yep.
Yeah.
So here we go. Isabella Wrana in this 6th end, facing 4 Chinese stones, trailing 3-2. 2-3.
And this is pretty quick here. This isn't slow at all.
Through the gap anyway.
She's just going to bounce off. She can miss everything. Whoa. And Betty's straight over there to look to see if she can make 6 or more.
Yes. Well, she's got 4, but I don't think she can get at the stones at the back of the house for more than that.
No, she's not got her own. Might as well just drop.
And that stone just too heavy.
Yeah.
Tapping off it quite a bit too heavy,
I think
actually.
a corner freeze would have been the shot to call there.
Well, that shot would have been okay if it had just been a little bit less weight. But it's tough to put the weight down when you're going through a port like that. To be very accurate. So now we're going to the last stone of the end with Betty.
I think it's
Wang.
shake hands here anyways.
Just a straight draw for
5.
5, yeah. And that would be an 8-2 advantage.
Yeah, I think
and the end.
with 4, it's probably already over.
This looks good.
Yeah.
So Wang draws right in to follow her last stone. Picks up 5 points, and with it the win and the qualification into the last 8 quarter-finals, which will be played in the morning at 8 AM. China going the long road to the quarter-finals. And Isabella Wrana knocked out. Great play in that end from the Chinese team. And right now the other 3 games are still going on.
Yeah, quickly run through that. Christensen has stolen her way, so we got to call the cops. She's stolen her way back into that game. It's now with 3 steals in a row, 4-4. We're staring it after 5 ends of play. And on the Matsumuro Sinclair game, Sinclair made a 3 in the 6th and now leads 4-3 over Matsumura. And on the last qualifier game, Kaiser 6-4 up on Jackson with the hammer in the 6th end. And here we see our final score with a huge 5 in that 8. That just kind of rolled right over top. Wrana in that end. Score of 5 makes that an 8-2 game in the qualifying for the world champions and the Chinese Olympic representatives. And they will join Sidorova, Moiseva, Felcher, and Muirhead, already qualified for tomorrow's qualifier games, quarterfinal. Sometime in about an hour or so time, we will post the draw for tomorrow at 8.
And this was how Wang and our team won the game in the first end. She got a nice hit and stole a point when Wrana caught the guard. And then number 2, Wrana jammed her stone on the back, the yellow one, but rolled across for a single point, and she had a chance for a draw for 2, but it was too heavy, rolled out, so the score was 1-1 at that point. Into the third end, and this was where Wang picked up 2 points with that. With this hit and stick, 2 points to the Chinese team, and with that 3-1 advantage. Chance for Wrana to come back at the fourth end with 2, but as it turned out, she could only make the 1 point again. single point. So now the score was 3-2. And in the fifth end, Wang was happy to blank the end, which is what she did ultimately with that stone. Hold the last stone advantage going into the sixth end. And in end number 6, of course, as we've just seen, she made this rather nice draw shot. Followed by the miss from Isabella Wrana, and finally the second time the same shot again, giving Betty Wang a big 5-ender and victory with an 8-2 count over the Wrana team and securing their place into the quarterfinals. So there we are, once again the final score 8-2, and they will be up early with the rest of us at 8 AM for the start in the morning. So
you want to check out the scores of the other games, worldcurl.com. Get the results there, and we will post, Richard, as soon as we can, the games that we will be showing tomorrow morning at 8.
Yep, we will know that when the games are completed here. So till then, we'd like to wish everybody a good evening, and from Armin Harder and I, thank you very much for watching, and please join us again tomorrow. 3 quality curling games await you, starting at 8 AM.
See you then.